Hello, my name is Mark Davis. I'm with the Tyler Fire Marshal's office, and this is what you can expect if we show up at your business to do an inspection. Hi there, Mark Davis, Tyler Fire Marshal's office.
Adam Shantz, nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. So we're here to do your inspection today. So one of the first things we need to look at is to see, do you have your certificate of occupancy from the City of Tyler?
I don't.
Okay, so the steps there would be to contact the City of Tyler Building Services Department, and they can get the process going for you to get that certificate of occupancy. In addition to that, we're going to do a brief walkthrough of your facility here. We want to take a look at your fire and life safety systems, fire extinguishers, things like that. This particular type of occupancy is a theater, and so for us, one of the things that we also need to see is your occupancy load. So do you know if you have an occupancy load sign?
I don't believe so.
Okay, all right, we will take a look at that then as well, and we can work on calculating those numbers and have that posted too.
All right.
So one of the things that we do look at as we show up to an inspection is we do an exterior survey. Typically that's done from our vehicle as we pull up, and we're trying to see, can we identify readily the name of the business as well as the address of the business. So in this case, one of the things we look at will be the front of your building to make sure that you actually have the address. In this case, 103 East Irwin is prominently displayed on the glass above the primary doors, and that is great. The fire code, the building code does require that number be a minimum of 4 inch tall and a minimum of a 1/2 inch broad stroke on the numbering. And it requires it to be clearly visible and a contrasting color to its background. We kind of work our way into the front here, looking at the general lobby area to see what we have as far as how the building is laid out, and making sure that we can access all the systems that we need to see. So to start with, what I would like to look at are your fire and life safety systems. So you have, in this particular building, fire sprinkler systems as well as a commercial fire alarm. So if you're familiar with those systems we'll start there, look at those, and then we'll take a walk of the rest of the place. So this is a good example of some things that we want to try to address when we do these inspections. Would be if your fire alarm panel, which exists here on the stage area, we need to have clear access to that panel at all times. So even when you're between shows and events, we want to keep this area clear till we can always get to it. So things like your audio-visual equipment here, you'd want to find a way to store that neatly, but where you can clearly still get to the panel. So one of the things that we're going to look at specifically with your panel is looking to make sure that it is getting regular maintenance and inspections by a licensed fire alarm company. Currently your panel is showing to be all in normal condition, so that is good. And then we're looking at the actual inspection stickers that are usually placed on the door of the panel here to make sure that that's in date. Most of the time these are done on a scheduled basis already with the company, and they know to come out and schedule that with you. So in addition to that, I just want to make sure that you would maybe reach out to your fire alarm company a month ahead of time to make sure that they do have you on their calendar so they don't forget to come by. Now, one thing I do want to point out to everybody is that not every business meets the same requirements in regards to fire and life safety codes. So some things that you may have seen in our video series now that we've called out in a facility like a theater or restaurant may not apply to a small antique shop, for example, or a smaller restaurant. The general things that apply pretty well everywhere is your address numbering, access to the buildings, keys, things like that. And then fire extinguishers are required in all occupancies, no smoking signs, exit signage is required in the vast majority of occupancies, unless it's a very small business with only one door in and out of the building, then sometimes those are not required there. But outside of that, most everything else will be pretty well across the board. With the exception of things like the fire sprinklers and alarms and things like that.